Hello everyone, I am André and I will be your presenter today. I prepared a lecture about leadership, but to we are able to begin, I need to say about this wonderful organization called Desejando o Bem, who helps children in dangerous situations and or even choose stay to help. I put the QR code here to pay donation. If it's possible, make a donation, even $1 will help a lot. Okay, let me change my screen. Okay, everybody see my screen? Let me see. Okay. Oh, yeah. Everything's right. So, here. Okay, just change me to. Okay. As I say, we talk about leadership today. How to lead and be led in crisis or even out of it. It's easy for us to think about leadership as a soft skill, but it isn't. Because there are so many skills needed, and we are gonna see a few here. But first of all, change. Okay. But first of all, let's introduce myself. I'm André Fernandes, I'm from Brazil, and I built my career based on knowing the whole process, from infra to business analysis as consultant, and I have enjoyed some time in sales area, as a pre-sales and architect. There, I get the pleasure to lead a business unit as a head, with nice accomplishments. After that, I decided to go on and learn. You learn more about projects and teams. Because lead and sales are my true passion. Here is a little bit of my professional history, and now we are able to begin our lecture. Today, we will go through 4 topics. At the beginning, I will explain and put everyone in the same database of knowledge about leadership and crisis. Then I will explain how those topics are related and how we can start some action right now. Come on with me in this journey. Like I say, it's easy for us thinking about leadership as a soft skill, and the major skills needs to be good at the organization. But is it? Well, if you think in this way, you learn a lot in this lecture. So let's start. First, imagine the following situation. There is a team of 4, being 2 women and 2 men, of different ages and roles. They have already worked together at some point and know each other, but you just received the leadership of this team a week ago. Okay? You just received the leadership a week ago. They know their roles and the job steps very well. They focus on to get a nice and good solution. Every step they take is based on teamwork and has focus on better solution for the customer. The steps begin with a discussion between the analyst and the designer, sketching the solution. Then the dev will code the solution. But, okay, the tester will test, the analyst will guarantee the primary needs. But last week, an epidemic hit the globe, and all teams around the world need to move their tasks to do at their own homes. And now, work at home must be a common and a usual thing. Besides that, it's impossible to go to work at offices. Historically, your team knows they have a hard time getting a good level of commitment and the right focus on deliverables. They have tried to work at home and they got an unusual lack of focus on the organization. Mostly because of the social distance, but beside of that, we have other reasons, like other people at home, distractions, or even previous firms and agreements, like who will pick up the children, who will be the dinner, the lunch. Okay? And you, as their leader, must think about solutions to solve this issue. So, what can you do? What is our guess on this issue? It's easy to think this won't change the team productive and we will get the same result because they are self-management, flexible, have a great experience. But is that right? I came up with some options to analyze. First of all, you can just sketch the activities and who the leader of each one is, and tell the work plan. In addition of that, you can send it to meetings also to promote better time management. Or even include daily meetings to keep everyone on track and with the knowledge of the whole status. But you can also make a different agreement. You can also make a different agreement. You can make agreement based on truth, trust, and commitment, which you set the deadline and which steps are needed in your opinion. And set up some weekly meetings to evaluate the effort and evolution. In your experience, what is the better way? In my opinion, neither option. You just received the leadership of this team a week ago. You don't know the response of each one in each option. Maybe and probably you get a different reactions from your team. Go connect with your team. Go meet someone. Usually we think we know our team based on some introductions or chit chats at the office or even on their job titles. But we are much more. We have personality, individualism, and history based on where we live, where we grow, where we study, and what experience we have been through. At that, as a leader, we must know those things of each one of our team. Because that will help you to understand them and assign it in the right way to jobs and expectations. If you know, you can do a better job. Remember, each person in the team needs an individual type of push. You don't have a common rule. You need each person, each push. One person, one push. Because you are a maestro. Leaders know every personality and push of their team. Use the right push in each one and make them get an unbelievable level of conquest. Coordinate the action of the whole team in a way that each one knows the cause and the effect of their actions and get the belonging feel. Believe in your history as a path to here, but for the future, you believe in the need to write a new path. The world has so much uncertainty and updates. We need to draw new rules and every skills every day to keep the performance growing. And if you know of this, with the capability to keep drawing and respect for your team history, you are a true leader. But I know it's hard. So I make it easier. I drew to you the success path. First, team. You need to know your team. Each type of push, the best skill, and the poorest of each one, and how each person is related on a personal level. Then, your goal. Know and make clear for all what is the purpose of these needs and what are the steps of the success. You need to know and make it for all clear. So, if you explain to your team what they must do each part of the process, make clear the importance of parts. And if the part isn't important, cut. Everything they do must know why. If they don't know why, cut. If you don't know why, cut. Because you are delegate. Best activity in the right level of agreement of these parts. I will explain better in the future. But remember, if you hire some person for your team, it's expected they are a specialist in something. Use this in your favor. Don't say everything they do and how they must do. Let be creative. Each person in the team has a different need for mentoring. Someone may just need an end of day report, another one maybe needs a half day check, and others you can give the job and just collect the results after a few days. It's important to know the need of each player in your team. Because when you promote teamwork, your team will discuss the ideas and usually get better results. Promote that. It's a good investment of effort and money. Teamwork, teamwork, and teamwork. With nice results after all of those steps. And you will get a better results, and you will need to collect the results and assign it the responsibility for the action. For a person or the whole team. Note the repercussion of that, about prides and accomplishments of the job. If they know, they will do a better job also. In this way, when you have some feedback, you need to tell. If anything was wrong or was nice to you, you need to tell the responsible to keep on track or to get back on track. If you let this action to the future, you may forget or lose something. In this way, you do all of that, you get a better results, better agreement, better responsibility of the whole team. Okay, but about crisis. You really know what it is? Do you remember and know the different types of crisis? Or you only remember the economic crisis? Yes, we have several types of crisis. Let's begin. The dictionary says to us a basis to create our own definition. It's a moment of reassessment. Let me take a clue. Reassessment in which occurs scarcity of changes and needs. But let's remember different types of crisis. We can also have a psycho crisis, econo crisis, agro crisis, or even a time crisis. Whatever. Let's remember a few. In the year 2009, in New York Stock Exchange crashed after a huge change in the prices of the agro products. After that, after change, several people lost a lot of money, and it was necessary for the government to change some stock rules and create a Security Act in 1934. But this crisis affected the whole world. In Brazil, for example, triggered some actions to keep the coffee price acceptable, and it was necessary to start a program of investments on creating infra for factories and industries. The impact of this crisis was felt in Brazil until 40s and 50s. A crisis in US impacted Brazil. In the year 2000, we had our first crisis because of the internet. In this year, several companies passed through acquisitions and mergers, making a long trail of broke companies and a hole on the budget of the risk companies. This crisis gave a lot of money for some people, but almost 5,000 of companies broke, and some of the biggest telecom companies had an accounting scandal. Again, it was necessary the intervention of the government. On 9/11, I don't need to say anything about the tragic terrorist attack. But after that, we had a global repercussion because of the position of the US in different lines of business. Beside of that, we have a huge effort on the US Army to search for who was the responsible and respond to this war. Then, warlike and security industries had a huge growth around the globe. When someone cried, someone sell tissue. In 2009, we had one of the most recent global crises, the Great Recession. After some change in the risk assessment and a real estate bubble burst based on the subprime credit, the US government had to inject a lot of money in the economy and made a huge change on financial terms through a financial reform. After this issue on the US economy, all the globe was hit of the retraction of the US. Even in Brazil, we took several hits in the next 4 years, with companies going to bankrupt and recession. Yeah, one crisis in one place hits here. But what they do have in common? After a series of events in other countries and places, everyone is hit due to economic or emotional stability of a lot of families. Where companies resize and restructure their payroll, a lot of professionals become employed, making the economy unstable through the price of products and services. But you remember their crisis? Maybe this one of the most important crises sometimes for a family. When some child loses their dog and is very sad about this. Making life of their parents like a hell, crying without sleeping, asking them to resolve that. The parents just can't sleep very well and pass all day thinking about their child and how they can solve this problem that will impact the productive and the personal moral. And we, as a leader, must understand the specific moment and try to motivate and engage the professional again. We need know and we need help. Okay, but how those topics are related? I explain a lot of each one, but I don't make it clear how they are related. For the leader, in a moment of crisis, the company is getting on a survival mode, and it makes it hard for the business expansion, or even to do what they planned to this moment. They just look to sustainability and survival of the company. All the jobs positions and open job opportunities are ripped off. The board pushes to execute more with less. And in this moment, the board starts to filter some data of the mortals and begins to make a secret memos. You, as a leader, several times had access to this information, but can't pass to the team. And must think about your own job, because you know you have bills and you are one of the responsible ones to make the business survive. Even with your head in several things, you need to encourage the team to do the best job they can do. But the ones being led at this time see every day, other companies firing their employees, the absence of the job offers, and the bills keep coming also. Sometimes, even, their family or friends was hit by the crisis, and that made them still more worried. At the same time, the news only posts tragedies and lack of hope. The anxiety grows, the concern of the family grows, your productivity drops, your attention drops. In the worst moment, when they must show the better result they can do, and bam! When they notice this problem, now they are so afraid. A good leader notes this, has tried to keep them on track. But the bad leader will just ignore the situation and don't give any feedback, and will cut the access. But for the company, as I say, at this moment the company just starts survival mode. It begins to feel the first impact of the crisis. And now it starts to plan to survive the crisis in the better possible way. It marks the financial partnerships, starts to make some financial partnerships with the customers, with their vendors, new agreements, and new position in the market. It starts to take several hard decisions. But for all the decisions and plans, the most important part is the results of the employees. If the employees don't do a nice job, any plan will work. In the eye, I will let you take a shot. Who is the responsible to make everyone satisfied? You, the leader. You need to understand each feeling of the employee and understand their motivators to get 100% commitment. As well, you are the link between the employee and the company board. You will make the employee life easier and ensure the deliverables to make the company grow even in this moment. To do that, you can use some kind of a leadership profile. Let me show some types. Leading is understand which level of trust and which type of leadership you use with each person in the team. For example, we can talk about two types of leaderships. The first one, you can be a leader who searches for success to discover solutions with your teamwork. Or I can say, the leader who lets the team be creative and participate in the design process. But you can be a leader who searches the success through the agreements of the team and the customer. You can appreciate the individuality of each one, but you just look for consensus. And we also have the leader who appreciates data. Everything must be based on data and information. You reach the success and maybe you let some cards in the path. But I'm sure your solution may be the most data-based of all. To sum up, you can be the leader who has a fear of change and search for historical solutions. Like you have a knowledge database, and you need a lot of data to decide, but you run far from conflict. Okay? 4 types of leadership. But we also have a delegation level, which is based on know your own style and your trust level. For that, we have 7 different levels, and it is important to you know each one. The first one. At this level, you just say the rules. Say how each one must do and which steps do you want. You order. The second one, not so different, but you go to the team with your idea and you sell the purpose. Okay, let's sit together and plan how we'll do this, but I will decide. Let's sit together, but I will decide. The third level. Okay. We can also decide together. Consensus. The fourth level. I just think we should take this direction, but you decide. You give an orientate. We need to do this. Decide how you do and let me know as you go. Make me know, inform. And the best level ever, we need to do this. When you finish, just say to me if it was necessary. Yeah, 7 types. Do you know the best delegation level and which is type of leadership you must do? You don't know. You must discover what is the best for each activity and each person. But keep in mind, every team has the expected level and time. For example, a sales team usually like freedom and have a different type of delegation of an operational team or even a tactical level team. Another example. Think about a CEO. It's hard for him to do a micromanagement because the team that responds to him, it's a lot of self-management and don't like this posture. But when you think a CEO and when you think a bakery owner, their team usually has only operational skills and need a larger proximity. But the most important thing is to keep each professional inside their flow zone. When you delegate activities that keep the challenging, but inside their skill level and their expected learning level. Yeah, keep your flow zone. Above disappointment, up of laxity. But inside of a crisis, the flow zone shrinks. Not because the skill reduces, but because the emotions are impacted and capabilities to hold the pressure are smaller. The external pressure is so big that it's hard for the person who's being led to deal with that. You, as a good leader, must know that and deal with that for him. You and they must adapt to the new situation. And remember, as soon you know and discover anything, you must tell the company or the people under you the needs. You must keep it on open field with both, but do this with care. At this moment, all the information and feelings are strong. So, tell the truth, but be careful. Be careful. And how can you deal at this moment with different emotional needs of each area? Which strategy you can use? For example, if you think about a sales area in a crisis moment, they may pass into sadness or happiness. Let's think together. If your company is based on pharma during a health crisis, it's possible to your team blow out the goals and sales a lot. But if you are services based at this time, maybe you can sell anything. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I lost the webcam. Just a moment. Just a moment. I lost the webcam, but here we are again. Like I said, let's think about a sales area. In a crisis moment, they may be passing through sadness or happiness. Let's think together. If you're a company based on pharma during a health crisis, it's possible to your team blow out the goals and sell a lot. But if you are service based, at this time you can't sell anything. Same area, same crisis, different strategy. Maybe at this moment, let me see. Okay. Maybe at this moment, if it's a good time for your team, it's time to give them a little bit more space and get unusual and creative solutions and negotiations. But if it's a hard time for your team, maybe it's time to seal the doors and put everything in question. To go out of this crisis stronger, it's time to reimagine the price, the market strategy, the product, the field placement. Use this time in your favor. Okay, and the professional level of your team. Each level has a kind of expected guidance. Like a junior team needs more proximity and explanation than a senior team. Because the senior has more major adaptability, they have more shell, which means they are strong and more experienced. As well, your team is afraid of the crisis because they feel expendable. Yeah, your junior team think they are expendable. And the senior teams have more trust in themselves, but they cost more for the company. So they know the first ones to be cut probably will be them. Well, let me see. Organization sent to me some messages. Okay. But besides of that, the seniors maybe already have their families, and sometimes the children or family needs could disturb some meetings also. And this also can worry them. You, as a leader of both professionals, must understand the different ways of leadership. And yes, age matters. I'm not saying to fire the young or the seniors. I'm not crazy. But each age group has its own features, like the kinds of music, the emotions, the feelings. And the corporate level, the freedom, the stability, the accomplishments, the challenges they will accept. Pay attention. Youngs and seniors are different. Okay, can you see how much your leader must know to make your life easier? So, it's time to make their life easier too. If you have a nice proximity or even feel the receptivity of your boss, then call him and say, what's happened to you? What you like and don't? How they can pass jobs to you? What do you like or don't? With their leadership, with their position, their way. And don't think it's wrong. Go and give this reverse feedback. With that, you and him will discover a lot about each other. And the flow zone will happen easier. But don't be foolish, okay? Don't be foolish. If you want a huge change or a lot of something, it won't happen overnight. It will take time. But if they are a good and smart boss, they will train and prepare you to receive what you are asking. Okay? Don't be foolish. Okay, to sum up, I said a lot about what is crisis, what is a leadership, how to lead, and how we can take the first step, don't calling my boss or my team. What I can do right now. Here are some few tricks. The first thing, in my opinion, it's to understand and review your routine. If you have home agreements or home needs, you must write and understand if it will disturb anything in your work, or vice versa. If you have a lot of things to do, but can't manage your own time to do this stuff, write what is usual and understand them when it must be done. What is not usual, I will talk later. Just 2 slides after. So, to help you to organize that, and I suggest that you put some gamification on your habits. The habit book. Install now and put your entire routine there. But you need to organize the time of activities, to rest, or even for a coffee. I suggest an app called Pomelo. It's based on Pomodoro way of work. I don't know if you know. But the first thing you can study for self-management and time management, it's Pomodoro. I put my entire routine there. And this method helped me to gain a lot of productivity and focus. As you do that, I also suggest you align with your boss or team one of the techniques of Scrum, the daily meeting. That will help you to understand the blocks of the all teams and how everyone can help each other. They can be your first Pomodoro cycle of the day. Okay? But one of the most essential things is to organize your notes in a digital way. If you do that, you make the researchable, trustable, and shareable notes. And to organize your notes, activities, requests, or even memos, I suggest an app called Notion. I know. If you already have the habit of make digital notes, maybe you use the OneNote or even Google Keep or even Notepad. But in my opinion, this is the best tool for this, Notion. But you can also evaluate the Todoist or Evernote. Okay, had several apps for this. I use Notion, and in my opinion, it's the best one. The combo Notion plus Habitable and Pomelo will make you stronger, and don't let you forget anything. Okay, now we have talked about almost half hour. Yeah, half hour. If you put just 50% on your mind, you are better. Now you are ready to be a better professional. Thank you for listening, where I transmit a little bit of my vision about leadership and company behavior. Besides that, we also talk some techniques and stuff that can help you to be a better professional. I will leave here my LinkedIn, and I will be glad to receive your connections. On LinkedIn, I put some ideas and provoke discussions every week about these and other topics. To have a takeaway, I will challenge everyone to make a sketch of your complete routine inside the habit book and send to me a screenshot. Let me change my screen here. Opa, sorry. Okay. If you send me a screenshot, the best screenshot ever, I will put in my LinkedIn the next week. Here, the QR code for donations. Thanks a lot for your time. God bless you. Bye bye.